Welcome, everyone, and thank you all for joining today. I'm so excited for this call. We're going to be talking about fueling and funding yoga for abundance and energy. We're all going to be sharing. I'm here with Simone and Alicia, two friends from different places in the world. Alicia tuning in from the West Coast, Simone from Germany, and us here in Montreal, Canada. So we're going to be sharing our perspectives for how this food, this gut repair, and this opportunity has helped us in our practice and in our teaching. And so I'm going to start. Well, let's begin with who this call is for. Alicia, do you want to share?
Sure. This call is really for anybody who's a yoga teacher, already teaching or looking to be a yoga teacher. It's for really anybody who's practicing yoga and or anybody who's looking to do more yoga. So we're going to talk about how this weaves into the lifestyle. Again, not only in the fuel and nutrition side, but in being able to fund the lifestyle of yoga.
Simone, as a yoga teacher, you want to share some common problems?
Yeah, some common problems. Of course, we all know that we want to teach yoga and only yoga. So, we want to do it a main business, a full-time business. But the light of the yoga teachers is really underestimated. So, yeah, honestly, yoga teachers are not paid very well. So, mostly, so at least what I know or experience, and they really struggle. They have to jump on other jobs and they get a burnout. And yeah, so they have not enough time to practice for themselves. And it's just hard. And so we will talk about how we can cope with this.
So why yoga and Purium? Well, yoga actually from the very beginning goes alongside with Ayurvedic practices, with nutrition. And it's not, yoga is a lifestyle and it's everything. And so we want to combine Purium as the highest quality food that we have discovered. It's all organic, regeneratively grown, really clean, nutrient-rich foods that are so supportive and so easy, because actually a lot of us are busy on the go, traveling, some of us, as yoga teachers. And this has been a game changer to have this access to high quality nutrition as well as gut support, because so our gut is responsible for inflammation, for mental health, for everything in the body. And so I know how, if we have inflammation in the body, we can't, our joints are going to be swollen, there's going to be pain in the body. And this is all stems from the gut as well as meditation. We're going to get into a little of our personal stories of how this food has helped us in our own personal practice and how we've been able to help our students to get better results and stay more consistent as well. So I'll start with my story. Okay, so I started practicing yoga actually a little late because I didn't think that I could ever do yoga. I was not one of those flexible children. I didn't have any background in gymnastics. But in 2003, I was introduced to Bikram yoga. This was my first introduction to yoga. Actually, I'd been to other classes of other yoga, but they didn't speak to me because I would look around and not be able to connect with the training. And when I entered a Bikram class, I felt at home because I felt that this was very simple, basic, foundational, and I was able to really watch myself progress and challenge myself. And it really conditioned my brain, my mind to challenge myself and push myself. So in 2007, I began a very regular practice of Bikram yoga. But you know what? I did not, first of all, I didn't have time. I was working full time at that time. So I was trying to get in my yoga either at 6 a.m. or at 6 p.m. after yoga. And I wasn't able to afford teacher training. To me, teacher training seemed like something I could never do because the yoga that I wanted to do was way out of my price range. So what I did was I started to practice yin yoga, because yin was a good balance for me as also my practice, but also that I could afford the teacher training. So I did get trained first in yin only because I didn't have the money to go to teacher training in for Bikram. And finally, actually, in just last year, I was able to go to Bikram yoga teacher training, which I've wanted to do for now over 17 years. So this is the only reason I was able to go was I had the time, location, and financial freedom as I had been building my business since 2020 with Purium. Another thing that really changed everything was, I mean, this food. So before that, my practice was strong. I was practicing regularly, but I was not able to progress in my practice past a certain point. I sort of had plateaued. And when I started adding this food in, it was incredible. My back bends were deeper. My lung capacity was bigger. My everything was opening up where I was really closed before, as well as mental health. So emotionally and mentally, I had a lot of traumas and blockages. And even sitting in my meditation I was not able to really sit with myself, and my mental, monkey brain would just go. But since I've been able to, really get to the root of gut health, my mental health has drastically improved, and I've been able to build community and just really build my practice to a point where I'm just, yeah, it's just getting better and better. So that's my story. And Simone, please share your story.
Yeah, well, so my story also started many years ago. So, yeah, after experiencing very bad trauma in my childhood, I was looking for answers. I wanted the answer to my why me? You know, many people who are in despair or have problems, they step on the mat and they think yoga will heal them. So it was the same for me. This was my expectation. And I practiced and practiced, but I didn't get my answer to my why. So it was more a stepping on the mat, and it was like a wrong or right. Will I do the asana right or wrong? And it was like exercising, but it was not that real yoga. So I came to a point when I went to Tibet. I wanted to have a time out, and I stayed 1 year in a Buddhist temple. And there I really practiced the wisdom of yoga. So, yoga, it is not all about the asanas. It is so much more. So, yoga is a lifestyle. Yoga is a loving heart and our thoughts. So this is yoga. Yoga in the earlier times was meditation, was pure meditation, and the physical yoga came afterwards. So first I realized that, but I had to go home, and yeah, at home I fell back again. So I was alone. I stepped on my mat and practiced it again, like exercising, and what was lacking was the love, so especially the self-love. And I started to look into self-love and more gratitude. And I searched also online, and I found Edison and the community. And I just, so it was a progress, really a journey. And yeah, meanwhile, self-love is so important for me. And self-love is also for me, meanwhile, the first thing is what I put into my body. So the real food. So if I eat junk food, I don't love my body. So the food is so important. And I really I'm now so obsessed with the foods from Purium or Platinum. It's the same because they help me. So I have every day the feeling I love my body. I give my body respect, and I can go so deep into my yoga now. It is so amazing, and also the community. So the people that you choose who are surrounding you. This is so important, and this community is amazing. All loving minds, like-minded people, and yeah, this is so great. And here I am.
Okay, and yeah, my name is Alicia. I've been practicing yoga since 2002. That's when I was first exposed to the practice. But like Simone was saying, it was more of an exercise in the exposure that I was getting at the time. Although my curiosity was piqued, I felt extremely called to the practice and what I was getting out of it at the time. It wasn't really until I found the Ashtanga Vinyasa method and particularly the Mysore style that the light bulb went on for me. And I was pretty much sold on that practice, which is a self-led practice, first thing in the morning. And actually, my experience with that when I started was I went to the first class, and the teacher, I said, I didn't know how this worked. I didn't understand. And he said, maybe you need to come back when you have more time. I took it so seriously and so literal because I was getting off to work that day or whatever that I shortly after quit my job and just reorganized my life to prioritize the yoga practice. I ended up moving into the entrepreneurship world and doing what I could to make ends meet. Yeah, kept practicing. The other thing that was weaving in with that was my inability to sustain a daily practice 6 days a week, first thing in the morning, even if I didn't have that pressure of the job at the time. I wasn't able to maintain that, and I couldn't figure out why. It wasn't really until about 4 years ago where I started studying Dinacharya, Ayurveda, the daily habits that are in line with this as well, that it started opening my eyes to the connection of the nutrition and how are we going to get this in the modern world. Because I was very aware of things like glyphosate, and I had a pretty big disconnect with grocery stores in general and large companies that were providing food that somehow I just didn't feel a level of trust with. I live in a big city. I'm not surrounded by farmers, things like that. Had to find a way. And it wasn't until Purium came in. Yeah, thank you, Jared. It wasn't until Purium came into my life and I understood what it was that I was getting from this that the dots all started to be connected. On the nutrition side of things, yeah, exactly. We are getting our body the nutrition that we need that is coming from peak fruits, vegetables, everything. Not only that, it's easy to access, delivered to your home, and um, just add water, basically. So it was like all these light bulbs went on. Wait a minute, this is what we need to fill the gap because when we're practicing yoga or teaching yoga, we're trading our time for money. And that's cutting into our ability to be able to go and get that delicious food, to take the time to prepare it. Yes, we would all love to be doing that, but it's not realistic right now. So this is what we're speaking to right here. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say was that in the yoga and nutrition world, we don't talk about this. As far as a Mysore class, nobody's talking about the nutrition side of things. In fact, I would say we're very black coffee heavy in the yoga world. A lot of black coffee going on, and it's supposed to be helpful for your joints to not get sore. I'm going to say I've experienced both sides of that, guys. Coffee doesn't quite do it in the long run. So, yeah, I think
Well,
that's what I.
that is so true. In the Bikram community, there's a lot of Coca-Cola drinking. So
Yeah.
there's a disconnect sometimes when it comes to that. And so many yoga teachers are actually depleted themselves, of nutrition, and they are not able to even afford high quality nutrition. And so we want to talk about the time and money that this opportunity brings. So yeah, I was that yogi as well, always, rushing to class or rushing to, and teaching was just not cutting it. Like it became a stress for me actually, because I was trying to fit in so many classes to teach to make ends meet. But I was sacrificing my own practice. And when I was working other jobs, I wasn't even able to do my own practice. And so I did make that sacrifice to not even teach anymore because at that time, because I needed to make ends meet and I needed to practice myself as well. So what this has done for me is, and what this does for all, is this is an opportunity we get paid to heal ourselves. And as yoga teachers, we are the example. We need to be taking care. If we're not taking care and loving ourselves, as Simone was talking about, if we're not showing that example, how can we expect anyone, our students, to do the same, or anyone that we want to inspire? So this starts with, um, we eat this food, and what we can do is this food actually can pay us to share it, because as we heal ourselves, as we heal our gut, we each have really incredible healing stories as well with this food. But mine, people were like looking at me like, wow, your skin is glowing. There's something that's changed. And I was inspiring people around me to get on this food as well. So it also helped me to bring more people into the yoga community who didn't even think they could practice before because of their, health issues. And it's allowed us to supplement our income so that, we're not relying on just our dollars for hours, as Alicia said, or teaching a class to only pay our bills. So we have this income as we're sharing with our students, and our students are healing, they're able to step into the empowerment to share with their communities as well. And this is just a gift that keeps on giving. And it's allowed me to do a very expensive yoga teacher training, practice my yoga every day, really prioritize my life around my practice every morning, 90 minutes, to be able to travel and all these things that I've wanted to do, right? So no, we don't work for anyone. I love that this is, we get to be in control of how much we make, what our working hours are, and all our time. So, this is how we get started, is healing ourselves. And we get to be the example. Simone, do you want to share on getting started?
Yeah, yeah. I think we have two options. The first is you indulge into the products, so you try them yourself and make your own experience, and then you share it with others. So I'm pretty sure you will benefit and you will have great success with the product. And then you can share it with others in your community, in our community, online, offline, wherever. So yeah, this is the first thing, and a very common way to share or to get started. But you can also do it like me. So I have chosen to go on the foods, and I stepped into the business directly. So it's a kind of learning by doing. So I was a little shy in the beginning, and didn't really go out directly with sharing, but this is individual. So if you are more an extrovert, you can directly start from the first day and make an unboxing and say that you start now with foods and will share whatever happens during the day. So you have really all the freedom, and so I can recommend that way what I did, but it's totally fine to try the products first on your own and afterwards step into the business. So, yeah, I think two great opportunities.
They're
Yes.
kind of the same path, but yeah, they're kind of the same path, but not really, because it's just what you're investing into it and what you're willing to share and to do with. I love this. You can start with $6 to $18 a day. That's the entry level, guys, to get started for your own nutrition. I mean, you're doing the second pathway if you do this one anyways, because people are going to notice and they're going to say, what's going on? What's shifted with you? But yeah, like Simone was saying, if you're already indulging in that, I also jumped into the business right away as well. It's natural for me to talk about what I'm doing. It's natural for me to want to share with enthusiasm to everybody what I'm doing. So for me, it was a natural fit to just, why wouldn't I put the business in anyways? Because people are going to be asking me what's happening and they're going to want to know. So
And
Yeah.
as you said, Alicia, we were talking before how you had a separate class with Ayurveda, and it's like it's separated. Where here we get, as yoga teachers, we get to share with our students too, this like it's very natural. It goes hand in hand. When we're talking about detox, like a lot of it, well, I do hot yoga. So a lot of the talk is around detoxification. And we need to be talking that, we need to be having the food that's going to also encourage the pathways of detoxification. And that's going to help advance our, practice. So we want to entwine, and people, yoga teachers are all the time talking about making sure you're hydrated, making sure that you're, getting your electrolytes and things like that we need. So it really does go naturally to be able to start sharing it with our students, especially also the students want to do what we're doing. They're looking to us. And so if we're drinking our green juice, which I just finished now, then, they're going to be wanting to as well.
The
So
sharing is very natural. Yeah, like it's just happening because you're literally living the lifestyle. You're drinking or you're eating and drinking the foods. It's happening just naturally.
yeah, and it's also part of our growth as teachers too. As Simone was saying, she was really shy when she started. I know, Alicia, you and I also, like all of us were, right? And we're not extroverts. We're not these people who are like always out there on video. But what we've learned through the practice of also this business is how to, grow in confidence. And this is also helping our, this goes hand in hand with teaching yoga as well.
Just one thing before we go to the next one, guys, also is that like in the yoga, in the Ayurveda, this is very old practice, right? People have been doing this for thousands of years. Let's consider the modern world that we're in and the things that we are exposed to. That hasn't necessarily been addressed in the yoga classes. We're not talking in that yoga class about the glyphosate that we're eating. We're not, that hasn't really been addressed. And that's where this really just like comes in really great.
Exactly, exactly. We're still practice. We're sharing things that they shared 1,000 years ago when they didn't have glyphosate. So now we need to bring it up to speed of where we're at today and what we can do to help. So Simone, if you want to talk a little bit about the community and what
Yeah, sure. So, as I said in the beginning, for me, the self-love and the communities, this is key. And yeah, so for me especially, it is an honor to be in the US community. So I'm here in Europe, and if you are watching from Europe, we have here, I think it's the affiliate, or it is called Platinum. Um, and our community is not so big, so we are growing. But the community in the US is much, much bigger and so diverse. I love the diversity of the people. And, it's so inspiring for me. And it's really, it's an honor for me. I appreciate so, so much that I don't know, they embrace me, they welcome me. I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel loved from people from the US and from other international people. And this is really yeah making my heart so warm every day, and it's so nice. And even if I feel lonely, I'm not that online type or so. I'm not always online or so. Um, Now I'm much more online because of my business, but I'm not the person who connects all the time online also. But it is so nice. I can do it now, and I know the people there, and yeah, it's just great. If I have a bad day and feel lonely or so, I can jump in and watch other posts, or I can jump on a call. We have free calls and tutorials, mentoring, or reach out personally to people. This is really, yeah, what I'm grateful for every day.
Thank you, Simone. Yeah, you're so, we definitely are such an incredible community. That's a strength that we don't have, even in the yoga community. There's not as much, togetherness and really support as much as we would love. So we're bringing that, and here we are at conventions. This is a Purium convention, which as well platinum people are welcome to. So Simone will be coming to hopefully the next one in California. this is Alicia and I here on the grass. And this was me teaching my first yoga class. And, this is such an incredible opportunity because Amy, the owner, had me teach in front of 250, people in our community. And so I got my first exposure to teaching at, really high level with like so many amazing people in the audience, in the class. And we're really a community that's focused. I love that Amy and Dave, the owners of Purium, integrate yoga into all their conventions. So it's really a part of our culture, definitely. And then,
As is personal development. It is a personal development um, project somehow. So there's a lot of overlap, right? I feel like a lot of us who are in a yoga practice or practicing or teaching, we're working on ourselves. So we're naturally going to thrive in a community of other people that are supporting that. And this is absolutely to not underestimate. The community support is amazing with this group. Like amazing support. Like Simone was saying, there's not just calls, there's as many calls as you want. There's as many calls as you want.
You're so
There's
right. Yeah.
yeah, there's group chats. We're a global community of Platinum Imperium, a global community of people that have similar values, that we're growing together. We're trying to heal people, trying to heal ourselves. We understand the problems of what's got us to this place that we are desiring this community. And Allison, I love that picture of you. That that was a real growing moment. This is like personal development right in front of our eyes. Like if I may, you were nervous, and I understand that. There was a lot of people, and it was sprung on you, kind of, but we did it. And that's what the support that this community offers is that we have each other's back. We love each other, we care, we meet regularly, and we're all sort of growing in the same direction.
yes, yes, we're all growth. And Jared, do you want to share like just a minute of your perspective as
Thank
a
you so much.
yogi?
As a yogi. So I definitely had a profound experience with the food. It integrated very easily into our life, and I felt profound benefits. I lost about 30 pounds, and my asthma and my allergies disappeared, which opened the door to more physical exertion. I could actually keep up, well, not keep up, but go to a Bikram class,
Yeah, you were struggling before, and
yeah.
it made a huge
And
difference.
just being well hydrated properly, my cells were functioning. I got more benefits from the practice, and then the opportunity as well, also very easy to integrate. It overlapped with my regular job where I had linear income, and very quickly with the profit sharing that Purium unlocks. It matched my salary, then far exceeded it. And now it's brought us even closer together. You can see that's us doing yoga together. And I try to
Jared was my
practice.
example by the example of the friend. But you were able to also come to Thailand when I was doing teacher training, which if Jared had been working his regular job, would have never been able to do, bringing the girls kind of last minute for 2 weeks in Thailand to be taught by, Bikram himself as well. So
Yep, by boss. And there is it's a great for partners. I think yoga is incredible to bring partners together, to stretch yourselves out of your comfort zone like that. It brought Allison and I close together as well as the opportunity. So
yeah.
And I have to say, we all witnessed that, Jared. I remember you made a video when the girls knocked at the door at night at Allison's room. Was so sweet.
it's a
Yeah.
really
Yes. Yeah,
very
that
happy to
was
see.
really incredible. And so we really anyone who shared this video with you, or if you're listening today and you would like to get started, we have a 25% gift card for you. So that's in Europe. If you're in Europe, that's a 50 € gift card. It's a little different in Europe. So we have here the ULT. That's how the pathway that most people get started in the US. And if you want to just share quickly the pathway in Platinum.
Yeah, in Platinum, we have a 10-day transformation. So in the US, it's for 30 days. We have a 10-day transformation. So it's an ultimate lifestyle transformation that's a little bit tighter. But we can talk about options to stretch it or to follow up with other products. So this is no problem at all. Most of the products are exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. And we want to work with you and your goals. So let us know how we can guide you to, maximize the benefits for your own personal healing goals. And yeah, we meet everyone where they're at. So this is also a place to start if you would like to get into yoga and you've never done yoga before. This is an amazing way to start. So we're here. We have also, we offer yoga classes in our community as well, some of us, and it's going to be happening more. So join the community. It's really going to be growing in the direction of, this is all connected, mind, body, spirit, everything is connected. And we want to marry the two worlds, the yoga and the nutrition and the gut health, so that we can just all thrive. And so that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, and we're going to end the call here. We'll end the recording, and if anyone has any questions, let us know.